In 1959, at the American International Toy Fair in New York City, a blonde-haired doll in a black and white striped swimsuit changed the world. Her name was Barbie. To most, she looked harmless. Just another toy for little girls. But Barbie was something different. Unlike baby dolls, which trained girls to play mommy, Barbie was a woman. She had a job, clothes, cars, and a figure modeled on European fashion dolls. She was aspirational, glamorous, and just out of reach. The mastermind was Ruth Handler, co-founder of Mattel. Handler claimed she wanted to give her daughter a toy that let her imagine adult life. But behind the vision was a shrewd business plan. Barbie wasn't just a doll, she was a platform. From the very beginning, Mattel built Barbie as an expandable universe. You didn't just buy one doll. You bought her dream house, her convertible, her endless wardrobe. Every new accessory was a chance to squeeze more money from parents desperate to give their daughters the dream. Barbie wasn't born as a toy. She was born as a consumer ecosystem, one that would turn girlhood into one of the most profitable markets in history. Barbie was never just a doll. From day one, she was engineered as a lifestyle, a pink universe where every purchase pulled you deeper into Mattel's orbit. The brilliance and the trap was that Barbie was incomplete by design. One doll wasn't enough. You needed outfits, houses, pets, convertibles, a boyfriend named Ken. Each new release wasn't just a toy, it was an upgrade. And like Apple products today, Barbie taught customers to expect endless add-ons. Mattel didn't just sell plastic, they sold aspiration. Barbie wasn't about who you were. She was about who you could be if you kept buying. The psychology was devastatingly simple. Girls weren't just playing pretend. They were rehearsing consumerism. They were learning at age 6 that happiness comes from accessories, upgrades, and more stuff. And for parents, the pressure was relentless. Every birthday, every Christmas, every commercial break was another reminder. Your daughter needs the next piece of the Barbie dream. If you don't buy it, you're holding her back. This wasn't a toy business. It was a subscription model before subscriptions existed. Barbie didn't just capture childhood imagination, she turned it into a never-ending revenue stream. Barbie wasn't just teaching girls how to play, she was teaching them how to look. From her impossibly long legs to her tiny waist and flawless skin, Barbie was designed as the embodiment of the perfect woman. But this perfection was never real. In fact, if Barbie were human, her body proportions would make it physically impossible to stand upright. This wasn't an accident, it was marketing. Barbie's body wasn't designed for realism, it was designed to sell aspiration. She wasn't the girl next door, she was the unattainable standard that every girl was subtly told to chase. And the psychology worked. Studies later showed that girls who played with Barbie reported lower self-esteem and greater concerns about body image. What started as play quickly turned into comparison. Barbie's empire stretched far beyond toys. Fashion lines, makeup kits, diet culture, all industries built on the same message. If you want to be Barbie, you'll need the products to match. Mattel had pulled off something sinister. They weren't just selling dolls. They were selling beauty standards. Standards that could never be met, but could always be monetized. By the 1970s, the cracks in Barbie's perfect smile were showing. Feminists, parents, and psychologists began asking hard questions. What exactly was this doll teaching young girls? Barbie was accused of reinforcing sexism, trapping women in the role of passive consumers instead of empowering leaders. Her body shape drew criticism for promoting unhealthy standards. Even her career attempts, stewardess Barbie, nurse Barbie, seemed to echo limited visions of what women could be. For most companies, this might have been the end, but Mattel had a weapon: reinvention. Instead of fixing the problem, they monetized it. In the 1980s and 90s, Barbie got a makeover. Suddenly, she was an astronaut, a doctor, even a presidential candidate. Mattel rolled out diverse Barbies with different skin tones and hair textures. On the surface, it looked like progress. In reality, it was a rebrand, a way to silence critics while opening new markets. The message was clear. Whatever society demanded, Mattel would package in plastic and sell back at a premium. Barbie didn't evolve out of morality. She evolved out of profitability. And every reinvention made the brand stronger. In 2023, Barbie stepped off the toy shelf and onto the big screen. The Barbie movie was more than a film. It was a corporate masterstroke. For decades, critics had accused Barbie of promoting harmful stereotypes. But instead of denying it, the movie leaned in. It mocked Barbie's flaws, poked fun at Mattel itself, and packaged the critique as entertainment. And audiences loved it. But behind the pastel colors and ironic humor was the real play: nostalgia. Adults who hadn't touched a Barbie in decades suddenly felt pulled back into the pink universe. The doll they'd left behind as children was now part of their cultural identity again. And that meant spending on movie tickets, merch, collaborations, and, of course, new dolls. Mattel wasn't just reviving Barbie. They were reviving the customer base that had grown up and moved on. The company turned criticism into marketing fuel and weaponized irony to make Barbie relevant again. The movie wasn't art. It was advertising, a 2-hour commercial disguised as social commentary. And it worked. Barbie was no longer just for kids. She was back in the wallets of adults who thought they'd outgrown her. Barbie's genius wasn't just that she sold toys, it was that she sold identity. From the start, Barbie was never positioned as just a doll. She was who you could become: a doctor, an astronaut, a fashion icon, a president. Every version of Barbie whispered the same message: your identity is something you can buy. This was more than playtime. It was training. Children learned to connect self-expression with consumption. Want to be stylish? Buy the clothes. Want to be powerful? Buy the career set. Want to be popular? Buy them all. Over time, Barbie became a mirror of consumer culture itself. In the 60s, she reflected glamour. In the 80s, excess. In the 2000s, diversity and empowerment, but always for sale. Mattel wasn't shaping just one generation. They were conditioning millions of girls worldwide to believe identity and aspiration are inseparable from products. And the brilliance of this strategy is that it never expires. Today's kids are tomorrow's nostalgic adults, ready to repurchase the same pink dream packaged for their new stage of life. Barbie proves that the most profitable product a company can sell isn't plastic. It's who you think you are. Barbie may be Mattel's crown jewel, but she's just the beginning of a much larger play. The company isn't content with a doll. They want a universe. After the success of the 2023 movie, Mattel announced plans for a Mattel cinematic universe. Think Barbie, but multiplied. Hot Wheels, Polly Pocket, even Magic 8 Ball movies are now in development. The strategy is clear. Mine childhood nostalgia, slap a modern twist on it, and repackage it for profit. This isn't about storytelling. It's about building franchises that can pump out merchandise, brand deals, and cross-platform cash cows. Just like Disney monetized wonder with theme parks and films, Mattel is trying to monetize every ounce of your childhood memories. But the real legacy of Barbie isn't her dream house or her pink Corvette. It's the blueprint she created, a model showing the world's corporations how to turn childhood into an economic engine and identity into a never-ending product line. Barbie wasn't just a doll. She was proof that girlhood itself could be commodified. And now, every pink smile, every reinvention, every movie is a reminder of the truth. Barbie doesn't belong to kids. She belongs to capitalism.